First Principles. In this week's episode, I will join the pantheon of great thinkers known for their contributions to the subject of first principles. I'll be right up there with the likes of philosophers Aristotle and Rene Descartes, Johannes Gutenberg, the inventor of the printing press, and more modern thinkers on the subject like businessmen Elon Musk and Charlie Munger. Today we will dig into the question of if there are any core truths about flirting, dating, and relationships. Are there any principles or modes of thought that are basic and essential to success in dating and relationships? I believe the answer is yes, and I will make my case right after this quick word from our sponsor. I'll be right back.
Hey guys, Ashley here. Are you having trouble meeting the right girl? If so, I'd like to introduce you to The Gentleman's Guide to Flirting from David Sharp. This book is available on Amazon.com and has great information on every aspect of the process, starting from getting yourself ready, meaning having the right mindset and your goals and priorities straight. This book has loads of modern, field-tested, and ready-to-use examples to help you confidently approach and meet great women, either in person or online. It also has practical, real-world advice to help you truly get the most out of the dating process. And it has thoughtful, practical advice for cultivating and sustaining your relationships for the long term. It's got it all, and you're going to love it. The book's website is gentlemansguidetoflirting.com. That's gentlemansguidetoflirting.com. I know that you will feel that it is the best $20 you have ever spent in your life. So go to gentlemansguidetoflirting.com and click the Buy Now button, or search for Gentleman's Guide to Flirting by David Sharp on Amazon.com and start changing your life now.
Hello there. Welcome to episode 40 of the Gentleman's Guide to Flirting podcast. I am David, the author of the book of the same name, Gentleman's Guide to Flirting, available on Amazon.com and everywhere else you find your favorite books or ebooks worldwide. Today, we will dig into the question of if there are any core truths about flirting, dating, and relationships, meaning we will look into if there are any foundational principles that are basic and essential to success in dating and relationships. I am calling those first principles. What are first principles? What do I mean by first principles? I see a few definitions out there. 1. From English Wikipedia I see, quote, "A first principle is a basic proposition or assumption that cannot be deduced from any other proposition or assumption." Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Let's try again. Number 2, a simpler definition found in Oxford Languages is, quote, "the fundamental concepts or assumptions on which a theory, system, or method is based." The fundamental concepts or assumptions on which a theory, system, or method is based. That one sounds right. Number 3, I also see a third definition out there that says first principles are a process to break down complicated problems into their basic elements and then reassemble them to provide better solutions or outcomes. This version might be the one you have heard of more often since people like Elon Musk talk about this type of critical thinking a lot in his public interviews. The definition I am going with today for first principles is, in a sense, a combination of all three. Elements of all three definitions went into the approach that I use to break down the problems that I have observed over the years affecting people's overall success and satisfaction with dating and relationships. Back when I first conceived of the Gentleman's Guide to Flirting book, I was working backward from a series of perceived problems I have heard of over the course of several years, trying to track those back logically to root causes. Over the 3+ years the book was in development, in some places I went the other direction, the opposite direction, meaning I started from what I believed were core truths and built on top of those to see where those thoughts went. At the end of the process, the whole concept, working from both directions, the whole methodology and mindset ended up meshing together perfectly, and I think that is something you will see in the book. Today, I want to talk about 5 of these principles, these first principles. You can think of these as sort of a foundation that the overall philosophy and approach defined in the Gentleman's Guide to Flirting book rests upon. Let's dig in. Number 1 of these 5 first principles is respect. That includes respect for other people, all people, whether they are people close to you like family members or close friends or not. Showing respect by default, naturally to all people shows you in a positive light and also helps you avoid a range of problems in life, unnecessary problems. That includes respecting her, having respect for women in general, respect for her family, respect for her friends, respect for her roommates. The first principle of respect also includes your actions like keeping your word, showing up for dates, being reliable. It could be something as simple as letting her know if you need to cancel a date. Too often these days, I keep hearing over and over, a guy or the lady can cancel a date or just no show up with no call, no text message, no messaging of any type. That's just disrespectful. You don't do that. You're not going to feel good about yourself if that's how you behave. And to be clear, this respect concept goes both ways. If you aren't being treated well by someone, something needs to change. You don't deserve that. And finally, it includes self-respect. Treating yourself well. The whole system doesn't work if you aren't feeling right about how things are going for yourself and how your daily life is going. Number 2, the second of our 5 first principles is how you treat other people. How you treat other people. By this I mean how you support and interact with, how you treat others, especially those people you care about most in this world. But also it includes your neighbors, others in your community, and your workplace. It includes how you treat, support your family, partners, wife, children, and close friends. Are you selfish or are you selfless and thoughtful and empathetic and available and reliable? This includes how you treat and support your girlfriend. Do you treat girlfriends like crap, like they're disposable, or as a valued and respected person in your life? Do you show genuine interest in her well-being? Each of these first principles is a huge subject on its own, and I am just touching on the high points here in this episode. We go more deeply in the book. For example, we have the concept of the 10 rules, which you can clearly see how solidly grounded those are in these first principles. The 10 rules specifically help guide you through when you are first meeting someone. In some cases, the 10 rules serve as guardrails to help ensure your success in that part of the process. Number 3, the third of our 5 first principles is positivity. Positivity, a positive mindset, a constructive and bright outlook on life. I don't mean being naive, walking around with a fake smile on your face when you don't really mean it or feel it. I mean being pragmatic and methodical and smart with a consistently positive outlook naturally. I mean being positive to your core. I mean having goals and doing what it takes to achieve those goals in all aspects of your life. I mean positivity being so fundamental to your nature that you just automatically see things that way by default. I mean looking for and harvesting the wins out of any situation, even if it is mostly bad on the surface. For example, what? One pretty lady turned you down on her approach and you are following exactly some example I showed you in the book? A negative person may say, well, I just can't do that. I just can't say those words. This is not for me. I don't look good enough. I don't dress well enough. I don't have the money. I don't have myself together just yet. I'm just going to not do it. That's not the right way of looking at it. That's something I don't support at all in the philosophy in the book. A positive person would say, hey, was there anything I can fine-tune about my approach? Did I make a mistake? Was my approach or my tone or my body language a little bit off? What can I do to make an adjustment for the next time? And then that positive person would learn from that and then move on to the next 20 ladies, ones that may be more receptive to the approach, who may be more open to meeting someone. That's a positive way of looking at it. Another example. What? You lost your job or your business during the pandemic? Yeah, that sucks. But turn that setback into something better. Work to find a better job with more pay and better terms and better work-life balance, or whatever it is you're looking for. Build a better or more resilient business. Take the opportunity to move to another area with more opportunity. Take the opportunity to do something that is more aligned with your true passions. Turn a negative situation into something positive for yourself. Always be looking for a way to harvest the wins in any situation, even when the people around you may be focusing on 100% or all the negative aspects. In your mind, be looking of ways to turn those negatives into a positive, or just ignore the negative pieces, address them, deal with them, contain them, mitigate them, but find a way to emerge from the difficult situation and be better off than you were before. That's part of the positive mindset. Of course, you have set your goals and work toward them every day. Sure, there will be setbacks and letdowns and failures in life. That's just life, man. But you will persevere and keep pushing forward, powering through the problems that life throws at all of us. Generally, people can feel positive energy in you, and it will draw people to you, which will benefit you in many ways in life, including in your interactions with women, but also in your career, in your business, making friends, being more successful socially. Being positive is just a much better way of conducting yourself every day. Number 4, the fourth of our 5 first principles is your continuous self-improvement. Your continuous self-improvement. A major part of this, the way it is spelled out in the book, is stacking wins. Every day, stacking wins. In a prior episode of this podcast, I suggested no less than 3 wins per day, but feel free to far exceed that. Crank out dozens of wins per day toward your goals if you can. In other words, a major part of your continuous self-improvement requires having goals, breaking down how to achieve those goals into doable, smaller steps, and then stacking wins every day to accomplish each step. A win, when I talk about stacking wins, doesn't have to be a huge thing like writing a whole book or doing a whole podcast episode, or it could be like really tiny little steps towards something, tiny little pieces that can just take a few minutes each to work towards something. But detail all that stuff out, document it, write it down, whatever you got to do, and then stack those wins to make progress against those goals. Continuous self-improvement, making progress towards your goals like we're talking about, does wonders for your self-confidence. If your goals include getting a girlfriend or getting married and starting a family, we have a great process in the book to plan for and prepare for that. The book goes far beyond what the title suggests about flirting. It's got you covered end to end. Number 5. The last of our 5 principles is your happiness, your health, and your wellness. You cannot do what you need to do in life if your body and mind aren't in the best shape they can be. You'll feel better about yourself, you'll be more confident, you'll last longer and be able to earn and support and take care of and protect your family, your children, and everyone you love most in the world if you take care of yourself both physically and mentally every day. Please don't get aggressive about everything else and neglect treating yourself well and taking care of yourself, please. So, respect, how you treat others, positivity, continuous self-improvement, and your happiness and wellness. We call these 5 things the first principles, but maybe core principles or core values is a better term. Call it whatever you like. If you are having trouble with dating or meeting someone right for you, I still feel those principles are a solid foundation for building how you interact with women, how you go about the dating process, how you maintain and sustain relationships, and how you should think about starting, nurturing, and maintaining a healthy relationship. They are the edifice upon which the Gentleman's Guide to Flirting book was built, so check it out. All right, that's all I have for this week. Let's get to work.